dietitian because. No, but it's an essay, not at all a letter. Yes.
What about the recommendation letters?
Those are different. Yeah, those. Is that what you were asking? The letter, the recommendation letters, or the personal statement?
No, personal statement.
Yeah, no, personal statement is just an essay, but the recommendation letters, you just, to whom it may concern, or internship committee, or whatever it is.
The professors put all of us in one big envelope.
Not necessarily. I'm collecting a bunch of stuff now, like in kind of just in general. They come to my mailbox. I give them to our program assistant, Samantha, and what she's going to be doing is creating a file. And then as things come in, we're just adding them to you guys' file. So you don't have to have everything done at all one time. No, it's summer and fall, and that's it.
I know you said you and Professor Mark for recommendation. So who in this program, what professors, I guess, are fully able to ask?
Anybody other than us. Somebody who, like, I mean, I doubt, like, our chair, you really don't know her because she hasn't had you in the class, but, any of the other professors that have had you in the class. Yes, I encourage that, actually. Good point.
Does the science GPA only include the classes recommended for this major, or is it all science?
Good question. Also, like any sciences that you've taken.
Okay.
So, like biology, chemistry, microbiology.
Anatomy.
But you know what? That's a good question. I really don't know. Like, if you've taken outside of things that are required for us, is that included? It's irrelevant to us, right? That's a very good question. I think just simply the ones that are required for our program. But that being said, let's say we took like a higher level biology for our biology to count for our biology, then include that one. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. What about science coaches taken outside FIU?
That's fine. You need to include those. Yeah, if they're part of our program, you need to include them.
What are the main points that you look at in the application?
We look at everything. Everything that's included in the application is something that we review. So if you look at the last part of the application, it tells you how we score everything. Obviously, first and foremost, we do look at GPA, but we look at everything else as well.
You want us to send the official transcript directly to you?
Yes.
And not hand it in directly to you?
You can hand it in, but it has to be sealed from the registrar's office.
Okay.
It can't be like opened.
Yeah. And then the PDA report, you want us to print that out? As well?
Yeah.
Print it out as a PDF format, so it's not 8 pages, it's 3 pages.
Yeah.
Would we adjust the transcripts to Samantha?
Me.
To you?
You have to finish all your courses first and then apply for the program. It's not an option to do them. You have to be done with all your classes before you.
Well, they could be finishing some of them in October.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, you have to be done by the summer when you start. You can't like take classes at the same time that you're doing your internship. Probably not. If they work during the day, it's not going to work out.
It's like on-the-job training. It is on-the-job training.
Yeah, it's like a full-time job itself.
What are the hours?
It depends on the facility.
Is it like different every day? It's not set.
Potentially, but it's not like 2 to 10 p.m. It's
9 to 5.
Yeah, but some dietitians go in really early. Like some work 7 to 3. Whatever the dietitian is that you work with is where you're going to how you're going to work.
How many applications did you receive initially?
How many applications? More than 30. I really don't know. I wasn't in charge last year. Yes.
What happens if you went to college in another country and you didn't accept those transcripts? Do you still have to submit them?
If I didn't accept them, then it doesn't matter to me because then we won't count them.
What's the current number of seats that you accept your students?
18.
That's like a 15, what is it?
18.
18, right?
I was gonna ask, do you want the recommendation form and then envelope also?
Yes. I don't know if it's on here. Is it not? It's on the form. Okay, yeah.
Everybody has their own philosophy about that.
Yeah, I always tell people, okay, so on this form, on this form here, the recommendation form, it has this waiver, and so you can sign to have access to see the letter or access to not see the letter. Usually I tell students to put that this letter is confidential and waive your access to read it. So you have to include that. This has to be signed. When you give this form to be filled out to your recommender, you have to sign this top one. So if you want to see it eventually, then you can put it here, you can sign it, or if you don't want to see it, usually we tell students to say,
I never wanted to be in my right. It's just the way I am.
right,
But then you run the risk of the person
right.
giving it a little bit altered version and not being honest, which could be good or could be bad. It just depends.
Yeah, and the people that you ask to write letters of recommendation, I mean, make sure that you've made a good impression on these people. You laugh, but honestly, I've had students that were like the worst students, constantly having excuses of A, B, C, D, E, and then ask me to write a letter of recommendation. And it's not really my philosophy to write bad letters of recommendation. I'm not gonna do that to you, but I'm gonna decline to write a letter of recommendation if you have not made a good impression on me and have been kind of, a thorn in my side. Speaking of which, Juan, can you give me a napkin?
Kleenex, please.
Kleenex, somebody, does anybody have Kleenex? Yes, what's your question? Oh, here's one. Thank you.
I might have given you a call because I was sick last week.
I think you're right.
No, it happened on Tuesday.
Is that all saying? Students make you sick.
It happened on Tuesday. I was here, he was here. I even said, I'm like, oh my God, you sound awful. He's like, oh, I'm Juan doesn't want it. He's going to PT school. Okay.
For the letters of recommendation, you said one academic and one professional.
No,
Ideally?
not necessarily. I was just saying, like, I would suggest trying to get, like, one that's not academic.
Okay.
I mean, just to, that's not set in stone. I mean, it's up to you guys,
Okay.
But I was just thinking, like, sometimes it's nice to have, like, a different perspective on you guys that's not academic.
But for the academic, does it have to be a professor, an FIU professor?
No.
Okay.
And there's no set in stone. You guys can choose whoever you'd like. I mean, whoever you think that would, write a letter of recommendation that's specific to you. That's pretty much my suggestion. Yes.
Should I have the letters of recommendation sent to your office or to my house to hand them to you?
Either way. However you want.
Oh.
What are certain things that would make a good applicant when you look at their application or their recommendation?
Well, like I said, we look at GPA, we look at people who are really active, have work or volunteer experience, and a good personal statement, and good letters of recommendation.
How many hours of volunteering would you recommend?
How
many hours of volunteering would you recommend?
I don't really have a set number. We just look at, in general, just somebody that's done different activities and events.
You know your students. You know you don't have millions of hours experience behind you. You look for well-rounded people. You can work well with others. Don't need scissors, that kind of thing. Be cooperative and a joiner and that kind of thing. Functional society.
You're looking at it. We have a committee, and we all look at it together, and then the final word really comes down to our chair. No, but I'm seeking a reference. So myself, Professor our Dr. Dixon is on the committee as well. I would include your resume, yeah. We don't require it, but I think that would be helpful. I do suggest that, when you do get into the program, to have like an updated resume. I mean, I know you guys have to do that for seminar, correct? You have to make a resume for seminar? Yes. Okay. Because I require my students when they go out to their sites to give their preceptors a resume, so that the preceptor knows like what you're all about, what you do, etc. And then you meet with them. Some facilities do require, like the VA. I usually select like 3 or 4 students to interview with them, and they'll pick the 2 that they want. I'm also doing that with Palmetto General right now, and I'm also doing that with Aventura in the future.
You may have been interviewed for the application
Oh,
process.
for the application process? No, there's not. At other internships, they do interview.
For resume, we only include what's relevant to our field.
No, because remember what I said is that I feel like you guys get experience and skills from a variety of sources. It's not just, nutrition stuff. Like, let me give you an example. Somebody who's worked in customer service for 10 years, so I feel like that gives you a unique set of skills to be able to relate to other people. Because when you do your internship, mine was really smooth, but you have to work with a lot of different personalities and people, and you're a student, so it's you need to like know your place, so to speak. So having worked in customer service for 10 years, I think that gives you the kind of patience and understanding that you need to work with a lot of different people. So I would definitely include any type of work experience that you have.
Knowledge of Spanish is very important in all the
That's an excellent question, and I would say pretty much. It's not that you're not going to be able to do it if you don't, but it really does help. I have found that some students, there's a book that the Academy puts out. It's called like Spanish for Nutritional Professional, and so it just like lets you know like certain types. I mean, you're not going to be able to like learn Spanish, in the next couple months, but. And plus, in Miami, one fruit is called 10 different things depending on what country you come from. So it's not going to be like, but to have a small command of it will definitely help. Especially if you're going to places that are just largely Hispanic populations, but it does definitely help. It's a good question. Yeah.
Could you include a curriculum vitae?
Well, that's the resume. You don't have a curriculum vitae.
Okay.
It's students have resumes. Like we have curriculum vitae.
Technically, a curriculum vitae is for
Academics.
professor who has
Publications.
publications,
Oh, okay.
and seminars, it's really
Extensive.
Yeah.
GPA calculator, so you're going to post it up online so we can...
Well, I don't know the best way to get it to you. I told Raymond, I think he was going to post it up on like maybe the SDA website. Is that a good way of getting to you guys? Otherwise, email me. I'll be happy to. Or you know what? Our program assistant Samantha, she can print it out for you. I'll have her have like a stack of them in her office, and she can just give them to you. Right.
You can communicate with your patient.
medical terms. You know, you could say in Spanish, they're cutting open your stomach and they're removing something. You don't need to say like, you know, colectomy in Spanish. Yeah, I think the words are almost the same anyway in Spanish. But the Spanish that you need to know is like how to ask them like how's your appetite, how to give you weight loss, etc. Yeah, diarrhea, constipation. Tell us about your bowel habits. Yeah. French? No. No, it would. I mean, I've never had a French patient. Huh? Yeah, no, I know that, but like Creole probably the only place where you would really need to know Creole would be like in Jackson. Any other questions? Yeah.
So if you're already CPR certified, do you still do the whole CPR training again?
I think they want it within a year. It's a yearly thing. They do it through AHEC, the Area Health Education Center, which is located in Doral, or it's called in the Beacon Center. It's somewhere near like the Doral spa, and it's they give classes very often. So usually that's where.
And Baptist Hospital does AHA.
Which one?
Baptist.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's 786 594 6787 to register. I used to teach.
You did?
I did. They hired once a month, so twice a year.
Nutrition education class, CPR.
I had to take it. I had to take it for to send my students to the hospital. I had to take it. Yeah. I'm the last person to work for that.
It's all
Yeah, it was. But they taught us the bad things.
Yeah, they teach you the
any certification because you'll be in a group of 7.
Right.
So you'll be part of the team.
Well, the issue is with my contracts is that any place that I send you guys to do your internship, they have to have what's called an affiliation agreement. Our affiliation agreements are mirrored by the nursing, like nursing. So they treat us like nursing, which is the nightmare because that's what I have to do all the stuff that I have to do to send you guys out there. You don't even know. So, and it's because they think like nursing has, you know, they can have anywhere from 30 to 50 people at one site, but they also have an adjunct professor kind of supervising them. So they think that I'm the adjunct professor supervising, but I'm not on the site with you. I don't even step foot into the hospital until like the very end. So that's why I have to get CPR certified. I have to background check. I have to, pick up my firstborn child. Anything else? Yes.
When we do the CP program, what do we do exactly? It's like half class, half hospital?
No. There's three different rotations. We do food service rotation, community rotation, and then clinical and long-term care. So for one semester, you're doing community. So some of the places that we send you guys are like Meals on Wheels, for example. You could go to WIC, which is the health department. You can go to the health department. Flippity, which I know you guys do some work with, right, through SDA. So Flippity takes students. Sometimes some of like people that are in private practice, they'll take students. Food service, we have sites here on campus. So you'll work like on all the, like over there where the food is. So we have those sites. And then hospital food service departments where you learn like purchasing, budgeting, all of that stuff. Storage. Because all of that stuff is on the RD exam. In fact, the majority of it is the management. Yeah, quantity of recipes. Yeah, you do all of that. You'll be on the train line serving people. So that's all food service stuff. And then the clinical stuff is when you work most hands-on with the dietitian and you're seeing patients. Same thing with long-term care.
do you decide which student to put at which hospital site?
I take donations.
We put your names on
Yeah.
cards and just.
Like, who wants it
Yeah,
there?
ones on this side go to food service person.
Yeah. No, I really, as much as I can, try to put you guys near where you live. I'm not, I do try. Sometimes it doesn't work out because we just have, it's such a transient field. You'd be really, really surprised. So I do try to put you at least in the same county as where you are, as where you live. And then a lot of times, because I am personal friends with almost every dietitian in Miami, I try to like match up the personality to the site. So let me give you an example. Like the VA is hardcore, old school, very, very conservative. So if you've got a girl that's, all flashy, it's not going to happen there. It's not going to work. So I try to really, and then some sites I know for a fact they're tough on their students, so I need somebody that's tough. Some sites they coddle the students, so it somebody needs coddling. So I try to match up the personality. And I'm speaking specifically of clinical, because that's my area of expertise. I'm new to to being director of the program, like with management and community. So I'm starting to get to know those people a little bit more. But for the clinical, where it's more hands-on, I do really try to match up the student to the site.
What are the possibilities of there being more spaces for the TV program?
There are none, because we get the spaces from Ascend, our accrediting body, and they give us numbers based on the availability of spots in the community, and it is extremely saturated. If you guys knew what we go through to place the students, it's very saturated. Plus, I'm getting competition now from Kaiser University, and it doesn't make me happy. So
When you graduate, you are able to take students. Please do so.
yeah, it's part of our job. I used to take 4 students at a time, and I would just throw them to the wolves, sink or swim. That's the way you learn. So it's just part of. You have to give back. Somebody did it for you. It really bothers me when I call dietitians and they're like, "We're not taking students." What do you mean you're not taking students? That's how our profession works. You were a student, so that's the issue. Others.
Can you apply to more than one internship?
To what?
Can you apply to more than one?
Yes, you can apply. Our application is October 20th. Most of the ones in the country, they start like usually in August, so their application deadline is February 15th. And you can apply to as many as you want there. And I'll go over that now, the matches.
Is there some sort of central academy link to apply for other internships?
Yes, it's called DICAS. I don't know what it stands for, but it's called DICAS, DICAS.
Didactic Internship Central
Application
Center, no. It's a C.
System. Yeah, I have it here on this presentation, but it's like the medical school one where you just put one in, and it's really, really, really good for us because I write one letter of recommendation and it goes to everybody as opposed to for the whole envelope.
Financially covers this?
Yes.
If we go somewhere else, to Colorado or something?
Not if you go somewhere else, I don't think. I think that would require a memo of sorts. No, I take it back. Sorry. If FIU, it will cover it because then you're converted from didactic to coordinated program, so then it looks like you haven't met the criteria to graduate, so it'll cover that. However, if you go somewhere else, it depends on if it's through a school, because other internships are either through hospitals or through universities. So if it's through university, they usually will offer financial aid. I do a little bit. I don't like to because I don't go to Tampa. But if you live in Tampa, like I have a student right now that I just got a contract for her. She lives in Orlando, and so she's there doing her internship. But the contract situation between our school and the hospital takes like a year. So if we get it in time, then that's fine. But it's a hash like lawyers over here, lawyers over here, lawyers over here. It comes back and forth. It takes like almost a year. Yeah.
you doing any internships in Broward or all?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Broward, Dade, and Palm Beach. I don't know the dietitians up there like the way I know them down here though, so it takes a little bit more politically correct. Yes. But yeah, we have sites. I'm pretty much covered with almost all the hospitals in Broward, Dade, and then Palm Beach, and then and Boca as well. But like I said, it's just a matter of getting in contact. The clinical world is extremely transient. So I might have the person who works there like this year, and then all of a sudden in 6 months that person's not there anymore.
Does that just cover all the facilities?
Yes, thank God. So does
talk to one or
yeah. So does Jackson. Jackson covers UM, Jackson, Jackson South, Jackson North, the Mailman Center. Regional Memorial Regional covers regional, Miramar West. The other one. Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned that we still have to go to national FIU for the year. Is that going to be something as the DICUS?
No, the DICUS is for, you don't have to do that for us. That's for like if you're going to apply to other internships outside of ours. What it is, it's a centralized like one type of one-stop shopping, and you put as many schools as you want in there, and it sends us an email for either a letter of recommendation or a verification statement that you've completed the didactic program, and then it goes to all the different ones we're applying to. So that is a different altogether. Any other questions? Okay. Yes. You guys will know like by mid-December, and the application for the other ones is like February 15th. All right.
I have a question that kind of thinking about that one. If you get accepted to FIU, can you like kind of like defer enrollment and like apply outside and then make a decision, or do you have to just kind of accept that as it comes?
No, you can. What I would do would be to accept it,
Right.
and then
I guess my question is, when you get accepted, when do you have to
you have
say
to
yes
tell
or no?
us. I don't remember off the top of my head, but what I would do is accept ours, and then if you get into another one, then just later on say you don't want to be in it. It's fine.
Right. I didn't know.
Yeah, we've done that before.
That was gonna be my question, do you hold alternates, or if somebody gets in for somewhere else?
Yeah.
This thing's happening. When we moved to California, so sure it was like
Questions? Okay. This isn't correct. We're no longer the American Dietetic Association. I did not create this. I'm sure you did, but I just looked out for the look of it, just to kind of keep it over.
I never liked it. I don't either. It reminded me of old-fashioned corners on pictures.
Yes. Yeah,
But I always wonder,
bolting.
why is it there?
What happened here? This is all clear.
You should just hit enter, the arrow button, and it should go to that.
No. What's this? Okay, I'm just gonna do it.
The slideshow and then
Just I'm looking for this. Oh, there it is. But see, then it does this fancy thing. Oh, on my computer. On here, it's like all this. It's got like this time, time thing. Okay. Just so you guys don't think I'm crazy. Look, this is.
Oh, that's for these here. I think it's for those pictures.
No, it's totally like it. So you can time it on the slide.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it would be cool if I was giving a real presentation. This is just pretend. Okay. So DIs. So when you look at other dietetic internships, there's two types. There's DIs, just so you get the names correct, and then there's coordinated programs. So coordinated programs are like ours. We, however, do not accept applications from people from other universities. We only accept ours, okay? Other coordinated programs may do that. So then there's dietetic internships which stand alone, and again, those are usually through other universities or hospitals. There's also a lot of, I'm seeing increasingly people, universities that have the master's program combined with the internship. So when you graduate, you have a master's degree and you've done the internship. Like US does that. So when they accept you, you're like, you're getting an internship. So where do we look for these things? You go to eatright.org, right? And then I think under students, there's a link to like all the internships, and you can search by state or by type of internship. And then it'll give you the program director's name, the application date, how many students they accept, and then the average cost. The VA internships actually pay you. But obviously those are very competitive as well. So some of them have an emphasis area, but like I said, not many of them. I know like if it's a pediatric hospital like Baylor or Texas, they'll have like a pediatric emphasis, but they'll still have part of it be community as well as food service. I don't know where you get the DMV one. Yeah, it's D&D, right? And they have on this list of them. Yeah, so D&D Digital put those brochure and all of the internships on there. So we'll be getting some of those and putting them in the department. And our program assistant Samantha will be happy to.
How do you know, like, 'cause I've been on the Eat Right and they list the programs. How do you know if that university accepts people from outside the university? Like you're saying FIU doesn't.
So that's a good question, and there's no way of knowing other than to call them or email them. Yeah.
Okay.
You can probably assume that coordinated programs likely don't.
Okay.
But other DIs that stand alone likely will.
Okay.
So fancy. So they can be 6 months or 9 months or longer. Some of them are a year. A couple I've seen have like that part-time option where it is a year, but you go like part-time as opposed to full-time. And then some of them pay a stipend. So the Department of Health, that's another internship that is here. Also my competition, but the lady that runs it is my really good friend, so I'm not angry. Kaiser, still angry. The Department of Health, if you work for them as a nutrition educator, which you can work for them as a nutrition educator when you graduate with your didactic degree. If you work for them for at least a year, then you can apply for their internship, and then you do the internship, and then you owe them a year of service afterwards. A couple of my really good friends have gone that route and really like working for the Department of Health. No. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think we have any more. Oh, the books. Oh, the binders. Yeah, those are in her office, Dr. Greenwood's office. So I'll put them in my office.
And that's only the health department in Miami, right?
No, I think it's all over. I think so. Yeah.
So you could just call and go to your
Yeah, because it's through Pasco County. It's through Pasco County, so the students go to Pasco County. I think that's Tampa, and then they train there, and then they get placed down here.
Do you know how long that internship is with the health department?
Yeah, it's from August till May. She's the one that runs it. She runs the internship.
When is that though done?
I don't know, but you have to work for the Department of Health, so you know through that. You can't apply from as an outsider. You have to work for the Department of Health.
So, that was
Okay, so for the DIs that are outside of ours, again, you download the application packet, and then everyone's going to have a different application packet. There's a centralized, kind of like through DICUS, there's a centralized recommendation form. So whenever a student wants me to write a letter of recommendation, it's this general Academy one that has, again, and it's one we use in our application packet as well. I've adopted the same one, but it's like things like, adaptability, reaction to stress, maturity, all of that. So your recommender will check off all those boxes on the computer and then put your letter of recommendation, and then it goes from DICUS, it goes to all of the places that you applied. So that's the way it works. And then the letter of intent will go directly to your site.
Well, the program that you have, is it a learning program or a DI?
It's a DI master's combined. So when you graduate, you have an MS. So you apply as a master's student, and then you're guaranteed an internship. I mean, they only have, Phoenix was so small, and they only have one hospital there, so they have 6 or 8 interns there. So your DI, so then the narrative part, and oh, by the way, there's a website called All Access Internships, and this website gives you tips on like how to write your personal statement, how to apply, what to include in your application, etc. All Access Internships. And I would definitely, as you're asking people to, write letters of recommendation for you, keep in mind, everybody's busy. So you don't want to say, can you write me a letter of recommendation for tomorrow? That's not ample time. So as soon as you know who the people are that you want to write your letter of recommendation, give them enough time. Also, I always request students give me their resume, because it's very easy for me to write a generic letter. I can do that in my sleep. But if you want me to say specifics about you, then you want to include in your, in your request things about you that are specific. So I can write that this person gained a valuable experience in working at blah, blah, blah. So make sure you include your resume for that.
And that website you use to give them ideas to write their essay?
Yeah, it gives tips. Yeah, yeah. It's a pretty cohesive website. I would also take, that reminds me, the Academy, if you guys are all members, which I suggest you be members, the Academy has a student section, and on that student section, there's kind of a listserv, and it's something about student mentors. So there's people that volunteer. I met one of these girls at FDA this past summer, and there's these student mentors, and you can send them questions, and they can send you the answers, and that's another avenue for getting ideas from other people that are new dietitians, for example. If you have any questions about personal statements or whatever, the Academy has really good resources for students now. It's pretty impressive. The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. Eatrate.org. So then once you pick the programs that you want to apply to, you have to rank them. So in your personal statement, these are some of the things that you may consider elaborating on. And it's, why do you want to enter the dietetic profession? What experiences have helped you prepare for your career? What are your short and long-term goals? What are your strengths and weaknesses? I wouldn't add that. And then, again, proofreading and making sure that everything is accurate. Like I said, I've read so many different ones, it's hard for me to say one type that stands out, but just really getting to the core of who you are as a student and what skills you have is, I think, really important. Some students have had have had to really overcome adversity to get to where they are, and so they tell that story. Whatever the case is, we just want to know a little bit more about you. So this is the little book we're talking about from D&D Digital. So we're going to get these and put them in the office. Okay, so from D&D, you look on this little notebook, and then you get the program code. I think those are also available through eatrate.org. And then this is the website where you can look at D&D Digital. So you need to rank each program that you want. So if you want which one you want first, put it number 1, whichever one you want second, you put number 2, and then the way it works is it matches you. It's very weird. Do not ask me how or why. It's if you put the 1 first, and then the 1 second, 1 third, 1 fourth. So let's say UF, UNF, Temple University. So those are your 3. Temple. And then what happens is that it sends your application to UF, UNF, Temple. So if UF if they want somebody else first, but UF wasn't their first choice, then they don't match, and then they're going to go to you. Do you see what I mean? It's weird. I'm serious. It's just odd. But that's the way it works. That's what computer matching is. So, you pay $50 to do the matching, of course, and then again, that's through D&D Digital. Okay, so here's the first, second, third. Most applications are all due by February. On the website where you search for the programs, you can see some of them do applications twice a year. Those are for programs that are like 6 months in length. Usually the program application, if it's twice a year, it's going to be once in February and then again like in September. Yep. No, you can apply to as many as you want. Well, all of the ones outside of us it's in February. So you can apply in February. Huh? Not important, it's just the way it is. That's the way they choose. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
How typical is it to share something not to be flexible, or if that's truly what?
You mean for our internship?
No, yes.
For a DI?
Yes.
You could do a distance learning one, like through University of Delaware or University of Colorado, and they can place you in Miami. But most of them you'll have to go to wherever they accept you, where they're housed out of. Sodexo has an internship as well that's in Miami, and that's distance learning. So the options for in Miami are like the University of Colorado, University of Delaware, us, and Sodexo, and Department of Health.
So for the CP program, you still want us to do the D&D matching system?
Yes.
Do you want us to do that by October 20th, or do we have until February to do that as well?
No, you do it by October 20th.
And then FIU is supposed to get number one?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Always.
Make sure when I get on there,
Say it again?
You have to do like completed all your classes and distance learning ones as well.
Well, not necessarily, because again, you have until February, so they usually start in August, so you need to be completed with your classes by August. So we issue you guys what's called a letter of intent if you haven't graduated yet. So a letter of intent tells the student, you can include that in your application, it tells the school that this person is intended to graduate by this date to the classes that are left, and then once you're done and your degree is post-degree, you do a verification statement, and then you send that to your internship. Okay. The program director notifies D&D Digital of their selection. So when they get the applications, then again, the directors of each of the programs where you've applied, they start to rank you guys, and then you start matching. That's how it goes. And then students matching with the DI program will contact the DI director on April of 2013 to confirm their acceptance. That should be 2013. Students who do not match can contact DI directors in April in case they have spaces available, and that has happened several times. So if one program accepts 10 people and they only matched up with like 8, then there's an option for you to contact them and then get, see if they're willing to accept your application.
You don't have a waiting list, right? You don't see people.
Huh?
You don't have a waiting list.
For ours?
Yeah.
Not really.
Are you guys planning to make a new one?
We have like alternates in case one person doesn't accept, but not really. So yeah, so sometimes it's happened in the past. This happened to one of my friends. She applied, I don't even know what she did. I think she forgot to apply or something like that. She was already had her PhD, and then one of the programs in New York didn't have enough, they didn't have all of the people filling their slots, so then she was able to apply to that one. But it happens after all the matching people have been notified, so people. information, and this is the website. It's called portal.dicus.org, and so this is that centralized, like, one-stop application process, which is really useful.
Are there application fees?
Mm-hmm.
So for each school is like a certain amount of money?
No, you do $40 for the first application and then $20 for each after 3 days. Almost all of them are using Dicus now. The DI may charge for the application, which is separate, but through Dicus it's $40 and then $20. I'm not familiar with very many programs that charge a separate application fee. The same as before, you're no longer required to write your social security number on any document, by the way. There's like a new movement towards that with anything. So they either ask you for your last 4 digits or nothing at all. Keep that in mind. I wouldn't write my social security number on anything anymore nowadays. So they're no longer required.
So which one would be applied to
D&D for here, for this internship, D&D, not Dicus. Dicus for this for outside ones. We don't participate in it because we don't need that. We don't have people from outside coming in, so we just collect the applications ourselves.
So for outside schools, you apply through this one and not D&D, or you apply to both?
Both. So this is about calculating your GPA, which we already went over. Transcripts are sent over. Obviously, you have to request them from all the schools you went to. Even if you took like one class at Miami-Dade that counts for this program, you have to send that over. We already talked about this. Supplemental application. Again, each internship is going to be a little bit different, maybe potentially, but most of them are all exactly the same. And basically, it's going to be that centralized, the same generic academy application, and then every once in a while, like I know, I think the Department of Health, no, Sodexo has their own recommendation forms that they want the recommenders to fill out. But that's the only one that I've ever seen deviate from the standard one. Most of them are going to be exactly the same.
How do you spell that?
Huh?
How do you spell that?
Sodexo, S-O-D-E-X. Oh. No. It has an H in it.
Yes,
S-O-D-E-X-H-O. X-H-O.
Is the process the same for international students?
Yes. And you will just need to you'll send your translated transcripts to the university.
Is it any harder for international students to get in the?
I don't believe so. I mean, it's the same. Any other questions? Does anybody want to teach my class at so far? No. So I can go home. We can go home.
I have a question.
Yeah.
She asked about the D&D and the DICAS for out-of-state internships. So they're two completely different entities.
Yeah, the DICAS is the application, the centralized application. D&D is where they match you. So you have to apply to D&D so that they can send your matching request.
Okay, so D&D is purely matching process. Okay, got it.
But keep in mind that you have to do D&D digital for matching. Like if you're going to apply to any internship, you have to do the D&D. It's like an outside whatever source.
So like if because I'm interested in the MSDI programs.
In the what program?
The master's internship, the MSDIs.
So
a lot of them are saying through DICAS. So then I do both. Like
yeah, you have to do both. Okay, so then you'll request, like I said, the letter of intent and or a verification statement. The verification statement is only issued to those who have already graduated. And then the letter of intent is for like if you have some classes left to take. So that'll go to Professor Martin. And then your references, in the outside applications, usually we request 3 references. And again, people can send them, you can send your recommendation or your references through the DICUS, and then they'll send you an email, and the person will they'll do that recommender form that I was telling you about, and then send in a letter through DICUS. So you just write it once. It's really convenient. Remember, DI still needs to complete D&D Digital. D&D Digital is separate from the DICUS centralized application. So D&D Digital is required for the home matching situation. This is the phone number in case you want for DICUS. 617-612-2855. No, most universities are using it now. It'll tell you in the application process, in the request information about them, it'll tell you to go through that. For here, no, we don't use it because we don't take outside people. That's like for other universities where they take outside people, it's not required. Well, we have to do D&D. You have to do D&D, yeah. Right. At least a year. If I knew more, I would be able to. It's really weird. You put your, let's say you're applying to 3 internships. You put them in order of how bad you want them. So let's say you're applying to UF, UNF, Temple University. So if you want UF number 1, then they send all the applications to UF. Then UF ranks who they want the most, who they want second, who they want third, who they want fourth. So if you want UF number 1 and they want you number 1, you're matched. If they don't want you number 1, they want you number 2, but number 1 wants something else than number 1, then you still match because number 1 wants something else. It's really weird. It's statistically, huh?
So like one individual person, like
yeah. So they'll rank the top applicant that they want. They want this person first, and then it just goes. It kind of just like process of elimination. It just goes down the line until you make people match up.
I think the confusion is like if we all want FIU as number 1, and you guys only pick 1, like. When we talk about
for us it's totally different. For us it's just purposes of tracking.
Right. But what about outside internships? What if you wanted an outside internship more than you wanted FIU, and FIU's deadline was before the one that you actually wanted? Would that
If you want an outside internship more than FIU, you would put them first. You always put, if you guys are applying to us and to somewhere else, first of all, the application would be different because you're applying to us first, so you'd have to do it at a different time. But I always put the other ones first because then you're not going to mix up with the other ones. They have a DI, MSDI.
Oh, okay. So that's like not master's, that's regular.
No, it's master's.
If you're applying for out-of-state internships, do you still apply for graduation year and then you go?
Yeah.